Ducked off low key, yeah, you know me. Kickin' with Tyree, hit it 3 like Kyrie.
My name is James Mackel. Directed Anxiety for Doechii, and I'm from Simi Valley, California.
Lovely, lovely. How did uh how did you get involved with the anxiety video from the start?
Um, Doechii and her manager Musa had reached out to me to put an idea together. I want to say last January, maybe even around this time. And yeah, I just started developing the idea from there.
Hmm. Uh what was the first image that unlocked this concept for you? Was it the original video
You
or
know, funny enough, it wasn't the original video. That kind of came a little bit into developing the concept. The first image was really a house, funny enough, and things kind of changed direction a little bit from the beginning where we were. But yeah, the first image was really a house and trying to figure out geographically a layout that would work for the moves that I was seeing for the project. So,
okay. How did you and Doechii work together to try to define what anxiety looks like visually?
um, I mean, that's something that, we both have in common is anxiety as well as everyone else, So, um, I mean, started studying like OCD cycles, anxiety cycles, loops, and that's kind of where I was trying to find a very staple image to start and stop with. And that's where I wanted to bring in her sitting in her bedroom from the original video. And yeah, I mean there were a few staple moments that kind of, kick things off. But yeah.
Yeah, and I love the ode to the original video of her sitting in the bedroom singing a song, and then the ode to the original song as well.
Hmm.
Someone I used to know, and how was it logistically trying to? There's so many things going on in this almost like a short film, but there's just so much choreography, so many different scenes, sets going on. How did you logistically handle that without it being a set nightmare or something like that?
I mean, it was tough, man. I mean, overtime every day, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure over the 2 days that we shot, we were shooting for about 36 of them. Um, I mean, it was definitely a tough task, but the house moments that we shot, because we shot the house on one day, the interior of the house, which we built in a studio. And then we had the exterior, which we shot on a whole separate day. And the exterior is where the choreography really came into place. And we had some choreo movement direction in the first day, moving through the house. But the house it's a very, very technical thing that we approached because it's technically the same move shot three separate times with three different feelings put to it. And every time you walk through this move, you get a little bit further through the house. And there was a different style on camera that grounded you to the feeling of
Mhm.
what anxiety would be the first time through, which was handheld. The first time we moved through the house, we were handheld with her and we were really with her in her face. And the second reset, we got a little bit further away from her, because you've been through this before. So you kind of recognize it and understand it a little bit more. And we were a little bit smoother because it's something that you've seen. And then the third pass through, we really go to that total wide lateral on the house where you can see physically the house split in half, and you make it all the way through in a very calm but chaotic move, you know? So there's I don't know, there's a lot that went into it. You know, that house that we had built in the studio was really interesting because I wanted that lateral move and that big wide shot of the house that transitions you to the outside at the towards the middle. And I was telling my production designer, I was like, you know, how do we achieve this and shoot it the right way? Because I want to take a whole side of the house away. I want to, when I'm inside the house, I want to be able to shoot in a 360-degree direction. But when we shoot this lateral, I need a whole wall removed. So my production designer built it so within 45 minutes, a whole wall of the house that we had built could be removed and we could grab that lateral shot transitioning us out. But there's a lot of fun things that went into it, you know, just gotta kind of dive into my brain a little bit because it was like a year ago.
Yeah. And sometimes when you're working on so many projects, I always say sometimes it'll mush together, but
Yeah,
you
completely.
gotta really dive in, especially when you're spending like doubles on a project, especially for this. Was there any room for improv, or was it pretty tightly choreographed to the dime?
I mean, we knew everything we were getting when we were there, and I had an on-set editor where I had pretty much a cut of what we see right now. The morning we finished at 7 a.m. So my edit was pretty much dialed from how we walked into it. Post really consisted of making sure we used the right takes, you know, and a couple pacing things, but we had shot it time code to time code. So it was pretty strict, but I mean, there were a couple funny moments, you know, her rolling backwards over the couch in the second take through the house. That was kind of a whim of the moment decision, you know. I was going to have her physically walk around, and then through movement direction and just having to time it out and pace it the right way, her getting dropped off by the movers and rolling backwards in between her two sisters was just something that worked out in that moment. So, but really no accidental mistakes on this one. Kind of really methodically planned it all the way through.
For you, how do you approach shooting music videos versus a commercial or a film? A lot of the times it can feel like a short film in a way, but there's a different promotional aspect to it. How do you approach that?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I have people ask me about process a lot, and you know, my main thing I tell them is I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like my process walking into every project can vary. You know, there's no one set in stone way. I mean, approaching a music video to me, granted, I haven't done a commercial yet, and I'm walking into the narrative space as we speak. But approaching a music video to me feels like there has to be, you know, you can't fully insert yourself as a director because you're making something for somebody else at the end of the day, you know? And it's about figuring out how to empower that brand and, you know, make your concept back up what's being, you know, what's being pushed, what's being marketed, and be able to sprinkle a little bit of you on top of it, you know? So I don't know, music videos, super fun medium to work on, but always creating something for somebody else at the end of the day, you know? So keeping that in mind, but also being able to attach myself through my own identity a little bit to it. So
Okay. Let's talk about you a little bit more. What are three films that got you loving film, like that started the love of film for you?
number one is E.T. It's
Mhm.
literally my favorite movie of all time. Alien, Predator, absolutely. And then my favorite movie right now as an adult, which I started liking probably like 10 years ago, and I started watching a lot, is a movie called Capricorn One by Peter Hyams. And pretty damn incredible, you know. A little corny, but I love it.
Capricorn One, I've never seen it, but I'm gonna add it to my list. You seem like a lover of sci-fi. Is that somewhere you want or something you want to get into as a narrative director as well? Where do you see your narrative career going in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I love conspiracy, you know, sci-fi, conspiracy. Obviously, I love action as well, you know, but definitely see myself moving towards sci-fi. And like I was saying, conspiracy. You got to check out Capricorn One.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna check that out. For you, how did this directing this film kind of change your own relationship with anxiety?
Um, you know, it might make me look like I understand it as a pro, you know? I mean, but I don't whatsoever. Um, I deal with it every day, and I think it's kind of unique and relative to each person through what they're going through, you know? So, I mean, I would say the project itself in dealing with, you know, how crazy things were and, you know, I think that taught me. I think I walked away more with learning how to deal with the anxieties of a project of that scale, you know? So I kind of took it more on a career level thing than how to deal with it personally. But you know, I mean, it's a loop. It's something I get stuck in all the time too, you know? So
Mhm.
it didn't really change anything. It was just a cool way to figure out how to express what that feeling actually is.
That's beautiful, man. How does it feel to premiere this at South by Southwest, or not necessarily premiere, but have your music video in the competition at South by Southwest?
It feels great, man. I'm excited, you know. We got, I mean, you know, looking ahead, there's so much more coming this year, you know, a lot that I got working on right now, you know. So this is just a cherry on top. I'm really excited. So
Are you going to be at the festival?
I'm gonna try, man. We have Doechii has tour in South America around those dates, so you know we're working on building that whole thing out right now. So I'm not sure if I'll be there or not, but I'm gonna
Okay.
try.
Okay. I think it's on the Friday the 13th, actually.
Yeah,
The music video competition. So
I'm
yeah.
slated to leave the 11th right now, but I'm trying. You know, I'm trying. I'm gonna try and push a few days so I could be there. But yeah,
Okay. My last question for you is going to be, if anxiety had a final form, what would it look like?
the video or the feeling,
The feeling.
Godzilla.
I like that. Hey man, it was nice to talk to you, man. Hopefully I get to see you at the festival and we get to chop it up a little bit more.
Ducked off low key, yeah, you know me. Kick it with Tyree, hit it three like Kyrie.